Welcome to Master League. Before we get started, here's a quick recap of what's coming up in the first episode. What's good, people? It's PlayStation Gamer here. We're back on the PES 21. We're about to start up a new Master League. We're going to be using the legendary German internationalist Lothar Matthäus, and he's going to be taking control of Bundesliga outfit RB Leipzig. So without further ado, we're going to get into this. We're going to start a new Master League. It's going to be sort of like a road to glory situation. See what we could do with Leipzig, see if we could keep them in the Bundesliga, winning any sort of trophies, cups, Champions Leagues or Bundesligas. Do a couple of seasons or more and we'll see where we go. So the purpose of today's episode, we're just going to get straight into it. We're going to take charge of the team, have a look around, see if there's anybody that we could maybe sell, and possibly have a look at players we can maybe bring in positions where we need to strengthen up the team. And that's probably going to be the purpose of today's video. Obviously, if you like what you see and you're enjoying it, then remember and hit that like button, leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel. Help the channel grow, it'd be greatly appreciated. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So we're going to go down to Bundesliga. I'm going to look for RB Leipzig. The other challenge as well is because I don't know the income that RB Leipzig have, so we're not sure how much we're going to have to be splashing on players, but we'll see what we've got to work with and we'll take it from there. So let's just go for it. So we're going to be using the legendary Matthäus. There he is. He's going to be the new manager of Leipzig. We'll have him. He looks better in a suit, does he? We'll keep him in a suit. We'll go with that. So we'll do the settings here. Transfer frequency. I'm just going to leave that on normal. Negotiations. I'm also going to leave that on normal, to be honest. It's a bit of a pain trying to sign players, and if your team is not quite strong or in bigger leagues, then it's harder to sign them. But I think on normal, at least we're room for negotiations and see what we could do. Starting budget, that'll definitely stay on normal. Transfer window open, we'll keep that for the first window. We'll have a weekly salary because I prefer that. We'll have the match level. We'll put the match level just now on. I'll go with top player just now because I'm not the best at PES, to be honest. I'm not too bad. I've took the jump over from FIFA, but I'm quite enjoying it, so we'll see how we go. If I'm finding it a bit easy, then we'll definitely have the difficulty. We'll have it on pounds, and that's looking good. So we'll go with that. With the legendary Matthäus, and we've taken over RB Leipzig. Here he is. His first day of the job. Gonna get him in, obviously. Meet some of the new players. There are a couple of handshakes. See where we'll go from here. If we've got time in this episode, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, then we might take a look at potential signings we can maybe make before the end of the video, and see what we can maybe do with the budget that we've got and see where we go. So there he is, Matthäus. He's taken over at RB Leipzig. Been shown around. So we'll get straight into this press conference. Or sorry, I'm telling lies, it'll be season objectives. And we'll see what they're expecting of us at the club. So the board of directors are going to say, I'd like to discuss the season's objectives. As the sports director, I think we should be aiming to win the league this year. What's your opinion? That's a tough ask, considering the team we've possibly got and the teams we're up against. How about we aim to win the league? I agree. We should aim to make it into the Champions League. Finish in the top half of the league. I think Champions League, aiming for Champions League's a good shout. As a Leipzig manager, I think it's a bit more realistic than winning the league in the first season. If we could win the league, then happy days, but it's a bit much. So I think just for the purpose of the season, we'll see what they think about us aiming for Champions League. We'll see what they say about that. And we'll see if they're in agreement or not. See, we shake the head there. I guess a steady plan may work better. Alright, you have my backing, so they're happy for that to be the case. So, the purpose of this season's going to be looking like aiming for Champions League football. Anything more than that's a plus. And that's what we're going with. So by the looks of it, we're going to jump straight into the press conference here. As the new manager at RB Leipzig. We'll see what questions we have. We're just going to skip through this quickly. Your league title chances. We will win the league title. We need to respect other teams. Our feet are firmly on the ground. We'll go with respecting other teams because that's most important. What style of football do you want to play this season? Want to put on a show, David? We'll go with that. Looks like we want to be putting on a show, definitely. Go putting on a show. So welcome to Master League. This is the beginning of your career as a manager. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're now at the main hub. RB Leipzig. Career mode, Master League, if you like. What the training regimes, scouting activities, budgets. My career as a manager, season targets. So our main target this season is to go for Champions League football. We'll hopefully do that. What I'll do is I'll just take a quick nosy at the Bundesliga. We'll see the regulations for eligibilities for the Champions League. So the league winners earn a berth place in the group stages and the runners up in a playoff. So first or second, realistically. Winning the Europa League, if we can win the Europa League also, we'll earn a berth place. There's obviously no relegations within this because there isn't actually a second German league on the game. There's not actually a first one either. I've managed to get this through the option files from the guys at PES Universe, so big shout out to them. I'll leave a description down below where you could find that if you want to download the option files. To make a great job of the player faces, team emblems, kits, the works. They do it all and they're really good at what they do. Just makes the game more realistic and professional looking, and it's good quality stuff, so definitely be checking them out. That'll be in the description down below. So without further ado, we'll jump straight into the action here with looking at the team and stuff. What I want to quickly do is go to my budget settings and have a look at this. So gate receipt bonus, we'll receive a salary, that's fine. Merchandise is salary, that's fine. Competition prize bonus, we'll want that put into our transfer budget. Season objective also, so anything we get for competitions and completing season bonuses, we want that in our transfer budget. Fan favourite bonuses, we'll go for transfer salary. Actually, we'll set the fan favourites to salary as well, just so we've got an even on both. Right, we're happy with that. Club account. Right, okay, so let's go and take a quick nosy at our salary. Right, so we're getting a transfer budget of 54 million, so it's not the biggest of budget, but it's not the worst either. It's in between, so definitely something we can work with. So what I'm going to do is go into the game plan, take a quick look at the team. 2 seconds, sorry, I just want to quickly check something. Just out of curiosity. Just to make sure the saves worked properly. Do you know what, I think everything's looking alright here. I was just making sure it's not gave us any generated players. All the players are real, but I'm quite happy with what I'm looking at, I think. Yeah, that's all fine. We're definitely fine. Sorry about that, guys. So what we'll do is we'll get into the game plan. So I've kind of sorted this out within the settings before starting up this Master League, just for a bit of a quickness. So I've had a kind of nosy at what the team looks like. It's quite a young team, which is good, because it means there's loads of room for player development and players getting better. So from what I've done, I've set the team up the way that I would probably play it. I like wingers, to be honest, and I don't mind having a cam. Couple of players in the middle and a back four. I'm happy with that. We'll go for the one up top. From what I've done and the way I've set the team out and looked at it, I want to try and look at bringing in a right midfielder slash winger and a defensive midfielder, or even a centre midfielder that's just going to sit in the middle of the park here. I feel like we've got plenty of defenders, and most of them are quite young, so they're obviously going to level it quite good, and we seem to have kind of replacements for each position. So if you're in a defensive position, we're quite alright. Our keepers are a bit old, but Delassie's a good keeper. We'll probably get a season or two out of him, and we'll probably then look to maybe replace him. I've got a couple of young keepers there that I could keep, or maybe just bring in somebody different. So players that I do want to look at maybe signing, like I said, is a right midfielder, a centre midfielder slash defensive midfielder, and I want to maybe look at bringing in another striker. We've got Sorloff and Poulsen, but bringing somebody a bit more prolific would be beneficial. Just somebody with it's a bit more clinical. I know that Sorloff and Neely's been on fire, and he's a wanted man just now. But his stats within PES aren't actually the greatest, and his rating could be a bit higher for what he's been doing, and Poulsen's the same. Not that I don't rate them, but they will get used, but somebody more prolific would be good. And that's kind of what we're going to look for, so I'm quite happy with that. But what I want to do now is have a quick nosy within the team, see who we've got to keep. I do believe that we've got this my internet kicking us off, don't worry about that. See who we've got to keep and who's on loan at the club and the likes. So for some reason, which I'm not complaining about, we could probably get away with just keeping him anyway, but it's allowing me to have Justin Cliver permanently. I didn't believe he was permanent. I believed, or from what I knew, that he was on loan. from Roma. That was the last I knew anyway, for a season-long loan. But for some reason the game's allowing me to keep him, so we'll probably just keep him. Because why not? He's only 21, and it'll save me money on having to buy someone else in that position, so that's quite good actually. I'll go with that. So just now, player salaries and stuff are looking alright. Budgets, contracts are looking okay. What I want to be doing is kind of tying down important players. But what I'll do is I'll come back to that. So what I will do is market value. So yeah, we'll have a look at the market value of players that we've got on here. So we're probably going to be keeping the majority of these players. This player here is probably someone I don't believe I'm going to use. He's now 24 and his stats are no much better than the strikers I've got, and getting money for him could help in signing a new striker, so I'm going to add him to the list. So he's away. Straight away, that's been decided. He's probably about the only player that I'll be looking to get rid of. To be honest, I've got a couple of the younger boys here, but getting penny streets for them really, it's not worth selling them. 4 million for young. Do you know what? I'm going to sell him also. Not if that's the wrong thing I've did. 2 seconds. I can get 4 million for him. I can go towards another young starlet. So I'm quite happy with that just now. So a couple of players on the list, and we've got 54 million to go and look at splashing. Who we can maybe bring in. So we're going to have a nosy. So, like I said, we'll go for a bit of an advanced search. So positions, I want to look. We'll go for strikers first. So we're looking for strikers. I'll go from the age 19 to I'm gonna go 19 to I'll go 19. So we'll go 19 to 26. I did say I was going to look for a couple of right midfielders / wingers. Once again, I'm going to put the market value at about 20 million. Oh sorry, we'll go 22 again. Positions. We'll have a quick look at midfielders. Billy Gilmore. What a talent this man is. Champions League winner at Chelsea this season. I'm definitely interested to try and buy him from Chelsea if he'll budge and they'll let him go. I would have him in my team any day of the week. He's just such a young, talented player. He's going to be big in a few seasons if he keeps going the way he's going. I don't really want another centre midfielder. If I can get him, then I'm happy as Larry. What I will do is now go to my listed players and have a look. See who we've added in here. So we've got a couple of right midfielders. A couple of strikers. I do believe the only way that I'll manage to sign one of these strikers is by selling a player or two, just to build up the wage budget. But I did put that striker on the market, if you could remember, and he was worth about 20 odd million, so if I get the money for him, that should increase my salary, which would help us to get money to sign someone like Edward or Beidou or Malin. So what I'm going to do is maybe start off with, I'm going to try and bring my countryman. Oh sorry, 2 seconds till I see what he's actually on just now. So he's on 16 just now, so we'll go back on that. So a 3-year deal, and I'm going to offer him £18,000 a week. Surely he can't refuse that. We'll go with that and see if we can make our first signing. So we'll go to the schedule and see. Right, okay, so we're not in any pre-season tournaments just now, so that gives us a few days to maybe simulate and see if we could build this team from the ground up. So we'll skip forward a couple of days and see if we can get any offers for anybody, or if we can get offers accepted for the transfers that we've placed. So we've got negotiation day here. So we've got news on with negotiations to sign Billy Gilmore. Although the terms are not exactly what we wanted, we have managed to reach an agreement. We just need your final nod to seal the deal. Gilmore's camp is asking for better terms. This is going to be a tough negotiation, so he's asking for better terms. We'll go and see what he's asking. So he's wanting more money as a salary. I'm really tempted to do that, but it's quite a big slump he's taken out of our budget. Do you know what, I'm accepting it because I really want him, so we're just going to go with it. So we've made a first signing in Billy Gilmore, people. So Billy Gilmore's joined the club, a new young talent. He's at the club. We've paid just under 6 million for him. He's on 23 grand a week, which I think is probably worth it because he's going to be a talent and he'll be in the team for a good few seasons. So Billy Gilmore's now an RB Leipzig player, so we've made our first signing in the first episode. So we'll skip forward another little while. We'll probably see Gilmore get welcomed to the club. Hopefully see if we can get some offers put down on the table for any of our other players. Well, he's a tease, but or most of his days anyway, but he's here at the club now. We're happy to see him here. Billy Gilmore, RB Leipzig player. We're happy with that. We'll take it. So we've made our first signing and got ourselves in a young midfielder. Messages. We have had an offer for our striker, and it is from Union Berlin, which is good news. So we'll go and see how much they're willing to offer us for them. So he's valued at 25 million and they're offering us 16. I'm going to try and renegotiate that. I'm going to push. So he's got a release fee on, so I can't actually get any more than about 19. If I can get about that for him, I'll be happy. So we'll see if they can accept that. We'll go with that so far. So we'll forward time a little bit. See if we can get another negotiation day before the first game of the season. So they've agreed terms, which is great. So if we go to the negotiation section, we're going to accept this and he's away. So we accept the terms and he's now off. Let's put our 23 that we spent on Billy Gilmore's salary back into our, and increased our salary budget up to 67. So I'm quite happy with that. It's now just to decide what's more important just now. Would it be another winger and try and bring in Kubo? This is where the game's kind of messed up, because I know I technically shouldn't be able to buy him until season 2 because he's only on loan there, but for some reason it's also letting Getafe keep Kubo like it's letting me keep Kluivert. They'll no complain, I'll no complain, and I might be able to sign him up anyway. So it's whether I want to spend big on the salaries of Kubo, which I'll probably be spending about 20,000 on his salary, or do I want to go for someone bigger like Malin or Edwards? But I'll have a nosy and see what they'd be saying. Because it could be a potential loan to buy that I can do. But he is on 40 just now. So what I may do actually is I may actually loan to buy him. So request a 1 year loan and add a buy option. So hold on, because what is his salary just now? Or his value is 13 million, so if I do a loan to buy, and offer them about 12, see if we can kind of get them for a bit cheaper. Transfer fee. We'll offer them about 6 million to get them on loan to buy. We'll see if we can get them to accept that. So I am going to forward time. It is international time for teams to pick national team call-ups. So there are some of our team members have been called up, which is good. We've had an offer for Kevin Campbell, but I probably won't be selling him, to be honest. I'm going to try and keep as many players just now as possible in positions where we're lacking, in the midfield being one of them. I was offered 15 from Southampton, which isn't a bad offer, but I am going to end that negotiation. I'm going to now forward time again. So I may just potentially skip this first game of the season. So we've got the league opener, we're in another press conference here. Haven't decided yet whether we'll use Billy Gilmore. So I haven't decided yet whether he's going to get a game. We'll go with that. Might hold off just now before we use him. So Edwards rejected our loan to buy offer. Quite gutted to see that, because he would have been a player I'd like to sign. Wasn't convinced we'd use him in the right role. He's more interested in playing somewhere he'll feature week in and week out. So what I am going to do, just out of curiosity, is I'm going to change the settings and have it stop every single day, just so as I can skip forward a couple of days. So yeah, like I say, I'm going to go with this team to start with. First game of the season, I'm just going to skip it. So we did come away with a win, so that's good. I'm going to just attempt to buy him outright. And then see if I can so league opener, that just usually says that the media are happy because we've won the game. So I'm going to try again to just sign him outright. I'm going to pay his release fee off. What I'm going to do is just try and offer him we'll offer him 40 on a 3-year deal, and we'll see if he accepts it. Just out of curiosity, we just want to see. If he's not having it, he's not having it, but we'll see if we can. I don't want to skip too many games, I just kind of like getting the first transfer window over them. I've got negotiations here. What I'm going to do is put this back to moving this progress just for quickness. So we'll see if he accepts. I don't think he will, but you never know. Well, he has accepted, but he's asking for better terms, and no doubt it'll be money that I can't offer him. He's wanting an extra 15,000 on his salary. Which is weird, because he won't come for a loan to buy option, but he'd accept if we offer him an extra 13,000 in wage budget, and that's just too much to be paying him. So I'm going to reject that. I'm going to ignore that. I could maybe pick him up next season. Well, I've signed Billy Gilmore, which is fine. I'm happy with that. What I may possibly do is try for Kubo, because I believe he would be a great signing to have. If we can get him at a good price. So for some reason, I'm paying more, 16 million, but his release fee is only 12, but we're going to go with that anyway. The transfer negotiations on this are a bit funny. I'm going to offer him about 23. I think that should be enough to persuade him over. And I'll probably skip one more game just to get over this last part of the negotiations in the final transfer window. Messi wins the award as usual. Best player in Europe, so we'll forward once again. We'll see if we get Kubo to bring himself over to the Bundesliga. We do have the game against Salzburg. And he wasn't convinced we'd use him in the right role. He's more interested in playing somewhere he'll feature week in and week out. So Kubo's also rejected us. We can't seem to sign anybody. Nobody seems to want to join our team. Let's try this the opposite way around again then. So let's try. So we've been absolutely hammered from Salzburg 4-0. That's not what we like to see. But we have been. And that's quite gutting. But we're in the last day of the transfer window. So what I will try and do is now loan to buy him. And see if he accepts through this way. He's valued at 13 million. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Request a 1-year loan transfer. Option to buy. So we'll offer them about 8 million. 14 million to buy. We'll see if we can sign him this way. So Kubo's just a definite no, he's having none of it. He's not wanting to join us. We've received an offer for a player. It's one of our young goalkeepers. I'm going to reject that because I don't plan on selling any goalies. This has been a bit of a pain here. The only thing is you can't adjust your transfer in your salary budget, or I would have just adjusted more transfer budget into the salary like you can do on the FIFA career mode and just sign Edward. Because I'd really like to have him. I'm going to try and renegotiate. And see if we can get him to accept less. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong button. $43. I'm comfortable at 43. I'm not going to be paying too much. I want to try and make some of that back throughout the season as well, because I've got contracts to renew for some other players. I just don't believe he's going to accept it, but it's double what he's on at Celtic, so. See if we get anywhere with it. Once again, he's wanting better terms. So hold on. negotiations. Because I've had some offers in for some of my younger players. So this is good to see, because this is a way to earn money. So do you know what? I'm going to accept this. So he's away. Back to the negotiations. Sorry, we're going back to the negotiations. I'm not getting the most for him, but it's very tempting to just accept, because I'll speed up the process of being able to sign Edward, because I'd really like to sign him. So that puts us up to 53 negotiations. See, it still doesn't leave us very much to be signing. Oh, sorry, to put onto his salary, so he's not going to be happy with that. He just doesn't want to accept it, does he? And I'm running out of time. I want to renegotiate with him one more time. Do you know what? It's not even. No, I'm not paying him all that. It's bloody ridiculous. He's only on 34. He's asking for double, which would be realistic, to be fair, in real life, but I'm not doing it. We're going to go and look for Mehran Beidou. That's who I'm going to sign. The young Dutch internationalist. We'll build him up. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start transfer negotiations. He's wanting 24. I'm going to offer him about. I'm just going to go 38 just to try and make sure he doesn't reject anything. Hopefully he's going to accept this. So he's accepted, so that's perfect. So there's the second signing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're going to accept that. Odson Edward can win ruffle his feathers. So we've signed Mehran Beidou for 13 million. 38,000. Weekly budget. It's a bit steep, but we'll go with it. And that leaves us perfectly for the first Europa League group stage match. So we're hoping we're going to win this one. So we had a few negotiations there that we never checked out, but it was players that I didn't plan on selling anyway, so I kind of ignored it just for the end of the transfer window coming. Again, it's not something I'm looking to do. Yeah, I'm not looking to sell. So, pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it for today's episode. The transfer window is closed. We do still have a salary budget of 58 million, which is quite good. And we've got 23,000 salary left there. We've managed to bring in a couple of players which I'm happy with. That being Mairon Beidou and Billy Gilmore, a couple of young talents. I would have really liked to have got a right winger, and I probably would have enough to get Kubo if he wasn't rejecting. But that is something that I'll definitely be looking into, maybe in the second transfer window or in the second season. But we've managed to pick up ourselves another midfielder and a striker, and both quite young again to add to the young players we've already got. So basically the next episode we're going to kick off our first 2 games of us actual playing rather than simulating. I couldn't explain to you how we managed to win our first game 1-0 and then get walloped 4-0 in the second game, but in the next episode we'll be taking on the Europa League. And it will be group stage action. And we will be up against Sonder Yisk. This looks like it could be quite an easy group for us to qualify from, so I'm quite happy with that. We seem to have had the easier route through the Bundesliga, through the Europa League, so we will take that. So next episode we'll look at sorting the team formation out, the tactics, maybe getting our new players introduced off the bench, blooding them into the team, and we'll have a game in the Europa League and we'll have a Bundesliga game against FC Cologne. So that's it for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. Like I say, if you enjoy the content you're getting, I've probably rambled on a bit too much for you, so you could probably roast me in the comments for that. I'll try and keep it short and sweet for the next episode, and get straight into the action. This episode was just about starting the team up and having a nosy. I could have sat for ages and ages and rambled on about players we could have signed and looked and added more to the shortlist, but I'm happy with the players that we have picked up for quickness. The team could be looking a bit tasty after these signings. So remember, if you do enjoy it, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, help us grow, even comment with some ideas and tips and hints that would benefit me on the channel. Definitely do that for us, please, that would be helpful. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been PlayStation Gamer. It's a pleasure as always. Peace.